Hello, YouTuber woober woobers, tuber woobers. This is a beautiful day outside, and I'm out here on my porch. Uh, my very neat and well-kept porch, as you can see from the back. A rocking chair, full of clutter, but it's a nice rocking chair. Over here is my work area. So I just built this bench over here. Um, I don't know if I showed it before. Well, you can kind of see underneath where there's kind of like a place for a garden. Of course, it's so far in that the sun really doesn't shine like other parts. The sun just doesn't shine. So I came up with this idea to build myself a workbench, and it's kind of tall, but it's a great space for all my bins since I don't have a garage yet. And even if I did have a garage in the middle of winter, you're not going to want to go out to the garage to get something. So it works for me. I'm sure when there's a woman in my life, that won't be there. But, until then. But if it's the right kind of woman, she won't mind. So it's a nice work area. And I'm going to move, all this stuff here. Well, the snow blower stays there, but this will be a place for wood storage. Last winter, the wood storage was over here. And I can get probably a few cords over here, depending on what I get. And so judging from all these bags on the ground, you can probably guess I've been doing planting, and I have. So I am doing the grow bags um, that I've talked about numerous times, and I got these hydroponic trays at the Restore store for $35 each. Might seem like a lot, but and then I put in a bulkhead fitting in the center of them with a 2-inch nipple on them so that it'll only hold about 2 inches of water and then it'll drain. And that way it doesn't get too high. So now all I gotta do is put my water into there and then it'll get pulled up by the plants and they'll be rosy and cherry. So I haven't figured out the growing system for them. I might just use tomato cages. Um, Over here these are some basil, kale, um, some regular lettuce that I've been bringing over to the farmer's market. Last week I sold five of my basil, which was amazing. And over here I have some cilantro, which people were asking for and nobody had. So I'll bring those with me tomorrow. And at some point I'm going to figure out how I'm going to vine up these cucumbers and squash. And I'm trying pepper again. Never have been successful at peppers, but. And then up the row here, you can see my tomatoes. So these are cement mixing tubs. And I also put the drains in those so they will only fill up about 2 inches. And those are all my tomato plants. And I've taped all the cages together so they're kind of like self-supporting. So they all have to fall over at the same time, which, when tomatoes, they do tend to hang together. There's good chances if one goes, they're all going to go. They all have that motto. If I go, you go. So you go, I go. Yeah. Um, yep. A little shot of the yard. It's a nice, quiet, overcast, semi-overcast day. Um, not a speck, not a speck of wind. But this is what I listen to. And I'll try to be quiet for a minute. Well, I can't be quiet for a whole minute. But anyway, you can hear a slight hum of my air conditioner in the weeds room. And other than that, it's just the birds and the bees and other thingies that make noises. This is the yard. My daughter Cassie's been helping with the yard cleanup, but I don't have a lawnmower and I don't really need one. I'm happy with it just growing any way it wants. I really am. Um, the lady that used to raise her family here, not who I bought it from, but her mother, had all these gardens throughout the yard, I'm told. And since we've cut the trees down, all kinds of things have popped up. And I have a gazillion daylilies coming up. But they're all overgrown, so they're probably not gonna bloom. But anybody wants some daylilies, you're welcome to come up here to the Berkshires and dig your own. Now these are the old school daylilies. These aren't the crappy crap you get at Home Depot or even any of the nurseries. This is old school, you know, daylilies and irises and hospices. These are things that have been in this ground for 40 years, or at least 30. So, you know, those are the goodies. They'll stand through 6 feet of snow and come up smiling. So that's the scoop. That's the scoop. At one point I'll show you my backyard. Still attached to a computer, so one of these days I'll spring up the money for a new camera. And yeah, so I've just been using the same stuff I use for my microgreens here. Um, this stuff here. I can add whatever I want to it. Um, but I know in the beginning this stuff's going to be okay. These are 1 gallons, if you can believe it. A 1 gallon grow bag. Fill it up and plant your plant in it. And then if you're doing like a bigger root system like tomatoes, you really probably want to be into the 3 gallon bag or more. But it works. It works. Really what the purpose of the roots is to bring up nutrition and water. So because water is nutrition. At any rate, so you don't necessarily have to have, a huge place for them. So, yeah, yep, that is about it for the front yard. Birthday's coming up. Anybody out there want to know what they can get me for my birthday? Well, if you've been watching my channel, you know what I desperately need for my birthday. I should not have to tell anybody here what that is. All right, I'm not desperate, because if I was desperate, I would bring in a woman that would be not in my best interest. So I'm not that desperate. But a woman for my birthday would be nice. Just lunch. Just lunch. Well, hey, I'm not going to say no to anything else, but lunch would be nice. Ta-ta. Happy Friday.